Hi, friends. Host Eric here. I want to welcome you to the new reality. Earlier, we made a new reality. We said, old reality, you're out of here. But that new reality was not new enough. So I said, you know what? Get rid of that new reality. I want a new reality. And I had one. It was a new reality. And then my dad came in and he basically was like, I don't like this new reality. Well, I had to end that new reality. But guess what? We weren't done. Because sure enough, not 10, 15 minutes later, here we are at a new reality. And I'm pretty sure this reality is going to stick. All right? Pretty sure. So, what did my dad want to talk to me about? Is that what everybody's curious? All two of you probably are very curious about that. It was extremely slabby, of course, and morbid and heavy. My dad had talked to the lawyer and wanted to sort of update me about power of attorney succession being built into the trust, that like if he dies, I have power of attorney, just transfer over to me, like that kind of stuff, right? Pretty heavy stuff, frankly. A little dark, a little heavy. My dad seems healthy and vibrant and full of piss and vinegar, and I hate to even think of him being anything but. Of course, he's not quite as vibrant and vivacious and full of piss and vinegar as he used to be, but he's still a force to be reckoned with. So, I went inside and I had that conversation with him. He came out and said he wanted to talk to me. He intimated that it was serious conversation topic. So at that point, I'm not sure if I'm in trouble. Basically, shit, am I in trouble? Did I do something? Keep in mind, I'm a 50-year-old man, but I totally still worry about getting in trouble with my dad. But no, I wasn't in trouble, fortunately. And I'm not 50, goddammit. I don't even think I'm 49 yet. Am I 49 yet? No, I'm not even 40. No, I'm not 49 yet. Yeah, you thought Eric's in trouble, right? I thought so too. I thought, uh-oh, Eric's in trouble. What did I do? Fuck. I was thinking it might be that I didn't clean up the room yet. No, I went in there to get it this morning, and he had already gotten it mostly. So I said, I'll go make sure I finish cleaning up in there. But I haven't quite gotten around to it. It's been a sleepy day. It's just been like the kind of day that makes you say, hey, this day's in my way. I'm going back to hit the hay. Okay? That kind of day. See what I say? Anyway, very slabby, of course. In the last reality, which was the new reality, my beloved girlfriend Rachel Apollosa was here in the live chat as well. In this new reality, I'm not sure she's here, which makes this new reality a little less stable, perhaps, than it otherwise would be. However, if she's not here now, I bet she'll arrive at some point. Having spent a couple of weeks with her, hi, Octavio Silva. I'm fine. I'm not in trouble. I wasn't in trouble. I thought so too, but I wasn't, unfortunately. At least I feared so. It's hard to say. But regardless, I'm glad I got off the thing to go talk to my dad quickly because, he doesn't like to wait, basically. And what he wanted to talk about was, in fact, way more important than what I was doing. No offense to everybody. So, just as well. Anyway, this new reality, is going to necessarily be a little bit more dad resistant. I believe Dad told me he was going somewhere. I have a tendency to tune out his logistics conversations occasionally. Talk about tuning out logistics. Rachel Lapalosa can tune the fuck out of logistics. Let me tell you, you can talk logistics to her, and she's just it's like in one ear and out the other. What a wonderful woman she is. I just want to express that sentiment over and over again. I'm so in love with Rachel Lapalosa, I can't believe it. Anyhow, what I was talking about, the new reality in the first place, was the fact that Rachel and I are both reality constructing types. We think we can sort of manifest reality that we want it to be. Me, by pretending there is no singular path or no singular reality that I have to uphold, and I can frame it as I want on the metaphysical level and get reality on the physical level to reflect the shape that I impose upon it, which sometimes works in some contexts, and you do it right. But for the INFJ, it's like they manifest it by seeing the path, right? We manifest it by walking randomly through brambles and turning them into a comfortable path to walk on, like with our words. No, we're fine. We're enjoying this. These sharp thorns aren't poking us. You're crazy. Trust me. Ignore reality. That was me in my last relationship. In this relationship, I started it, the same way. There's no thorns poking us. Same sort of thing, right? Over time, I've come to realize there actually are no thorns poking us, and there never were any thorns poking us. And I don't have to create this reality. It is what it is. And concurrently, she thought she was sort of manifesting the path, right? Like, I can see how I'm going to make this thing into what I want it to be. And as she's gotten into the relationship, she realizes that reality is way ahead of her, that it's actually better than she could possibly manifest it to be, or me. It's like, it is what we kind of were trying to paint pictures of before. And in that regard, it's kind of astonishing. I think we're both in the same place in terms of the development of the relationship, in the sense that after we separated and we're back to our respective lonelinesses, so to speak, we realize that, okay, this is actually 100% like the real deal. What, like, other people don't seem to generally have. I feel gaff about her. I feel totally gaff. And it's like everything about her makes me gaff. And it's ridiculous when I'm talking to her, it's so gaff. So, and that's cool. I like that. I like being gaff about Rachel. I am the Bono or the Joaquin Phoenix of Rachel. And that's okay. You don't need to condemn me for it. Now let me smoke this bowl in peace. Shh. Yes, gaff, Noah McFarland. It rhymes with May as duck. Anyway, May as duck is a good expression as well. Oh my God, that's May as duck. Gaff's an anagram that stands for May as duck. What? Wait, is that an anagram, or would that be what's the one that each letter stands for a word versus there's another one where It's a word. I don't know. Somebody, I can't remember this. I'm sure if Horse Mumbler is here, Horse Mumbler will correct me. Thank you, Amy Duplin. Thank you, Octavio. Is it an anagram or no, it's an acronym. It's an acronym. Okay, so gas an acronym for May is duck, which makes it a really interesting acronym. It's a very unusual acronym, right? I'd call it an anacrement chocolate. ESFP8W7 double Virgo here. I'm an ENTP 784. I'm a Taurus, like the bull. You mess with the bull, you get the horns, Cloud, like this. Yeah! You just got gored. Yeah! You just got gored again. What does that tell you about me? I gore. I'm a Taurus. Who else wants to get gored? Chase McDude? Here he comes. I'm going to gore you. Ah! That's how you gore. What are 8 like? That's not any, Dom. That's 8-year-old any. Oh, yeah, Cloud? You think that's 8-year-old any? Well, you're about to get gored. Ah! What do you think about that, huh? Now who's got 8-year-old any? Now who? The me or you? You do. If that. It's 8 years old because it's so old, it's so stale, it's so past the use by date. Unlike my goring of you, which is fresh. It's fresh, and exciting. I feel like 8 ox FIs are more abrasive than 7 or 3 ox FIs. Ox. Auxiliary. Is that the tool function? I think so. INFJ 2-wing 1 here, which is maybe the most devastating combination when it comes to terms with why I am in this sit again. Haha, who knew I had a part? Amy Duplin, or is it Duplin? Big question. INFJ 2, wow. You must feel taken advantage of periodically, I'm guessing. Have I diagnosed your life problem correctly? You are complaining in the right place, Amy Duplin. Or is it Duplin? You are complaining in entirely the right place, let me tell you, okay? As your metaphysician, as your resident metaphysician, practicing metaphysician, I can diagnose you as suffering from feeling taken advantage of often syndrome. Cloud, I told you that's not a euphemism we use around here for, marital things. This is the new reality. Goes right or close. You missed the new reality. You're too late for that one. You were too late by a mile. An INFJ Sagittarius in Enneagram 4? I never know what including the astrology sign is supposed to mean to me. I don't know what those things. Oh my God, free therapy using state therapy theory, which does not exist in real life. It's better than that, Amy Duplin. Or is it Duplin? What I have to promise you is 100% guaranteed metaphysical cure. For free. How do you like that? Bam! Can you feel the cure? Can you feel it working? I'm like Benny Hinn. And the power and the glory and the heaven and the head Father and and you fall over. Because of the power in my hands. I've got power hands. You, Amy Duplin, or is it Duplin, have regular hands. I, in contrast, have, boom, power hands. Yes, Dad. I'm curing the internet of what ails them.
Huh?
I'm curing the internet, people.
Okay. Dinner tonight. Barbecue chicken breast, mashed potatoes, veggies. What time?
I may have to work. If I do, it's probably 4 to 6, but they haven't contacted me yet.
6:30.
Sounds good.
See you at 6:30.
All right, thanks, Dad. Okay, Amy Duplin, or is it Duplin? I'm going to say the magic words to you. Somebody once said these magic words to me. I want to stress, I did not come up with this. I am the recipient of this, and I am passing it on. For all you TE people, this is not my idea. I got it first, and now I'm passing it on to you. I got some words of wisdom for you, Amy Duplin, or is it Duplin? Duplin. This is what I have to tell you. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you, Amy Duplin, or is it Duplin? There. Liberating, huh? There's nothing wrong with you. You're A-okay. And when people try to take advantage of you, you just go like this. I got one of these for you, motherfucker. And I got one of these too, motherfucker. Just like that, okay? Just like that. That's going to solve your problems. There's a little TE for you, okay? You're not a murderer, Christina Bowman. That's why there's nothing wrong with you. If you were a murderer, I wouldn't tell you that. If you are a murderer, Duplin, I retract my endorsement. If you're not a murderer, even if you are a murderer, but you're repentant in full and paid your penalty and stuff, I still tell you that. Because that's the story I'm telling, Christina Bowman. Don't run afoul of it. Run afoul of my story at your peril. Well, if it's any good to you for your services, I am a last semester double master student in the School of Clinical Counseling. So if you need advice, I have it all. Okay, well, I've got some advice for you too, Amy Duplin. You're great just the way you are, okay? You're okay. I'm okay. Cloud's pretty okay. I'm just kidding, Cloud. You're just as okay as everybody else, okay? Except for those people who aren't okay because they're not okay. Okay? Everybody should understand that. Well, then stop aspiring to it, Christina Bowman. I am, after all, an advocate of moral agency. You are okay to the extent that you are a good moral agent, which at least means intending to do good and trying to be serious and trying to be humble in the world. One of the biggest problems in the world is hubris, the assumption that you can really know for sure what you ought to do or what you should, or even to take credit for a lot of what you do accomplish in life. It's hubris. It's like things are more causally complicated than that. And I don't know. I can't do it without a little bit of magical thinking in the mix. Some people, I guess, probably can. I don't mean to tell. I'm not positioned to tell other people what they ought to do with their metaphysics in general.
I originally thought that you were going to be wrong. For whatever reason, just in glancing at him the first time I searched him, I got the impression.
I don't know who that's talking about, but just something I pushed on my phone accidentally when I was cleaning it with my shirt. I didn't mean to even turn it on. Okay. Christina Bowman, will you stop with that? That was Taylor. Yes. You're going to get me in trouble with YouTube, for one thing. I'm going to remove that goddamn comment. They can't take a joke. They don't understand nuance very well. My INFJ weirdo psycho tendency just felt an actual connection to you, and I may just refer to you as my best friend later today to someone. You go right ahead. I can be your metaphysical best friend. I can fill that role in your storytelling need, right? I can fill a lot of different roles in a lot of different people's storytelling needs. I'm happy to fill that role. Give me a heads up. Hey, Joe's going to call you right now, Eric, and ask if you're really my best friend. I'll say, okay, I'll tell him. Yeah, sure. Or at least I won't actively dispute it in a way that I'll sort of go along with the notion without actively lying about it. So you want more TI stuff to melt your brain, Cloud? All right, think about this. If frogs were bananas, we'd all be chock full of potassium right now. Think about it. Think harder. The reason you don't understand it is because you're not thinking hard enough about it. There's a lot of subtle shit going on in that one. A lot of subtle shit. Last night I met another one of my BFFLs. BFF, best friend forever. I don't know what the L stands for. Last night I met another one of my BFFLs. Lol. So now they are my second best friend, as you've given me a little attention. That's good. I'm glad to know that the attention I provide you is so rewarding. What's your thoughts on music today? Well, for example, I listen to a lot of Kendrick Lamar songs that are represented as Kendrick Lamar's better songs on lists on the internet to see which songs of his I like. The only two songs of his that actually I've heard that made my Snappy Tracks playlist, which is a very selective playlist of great singles, basically, were Humble and King Kunta. Why is that? Well, there are some inclinations in contemporary hip hop that don't work very well to make in terms of making things immortal. Like some songs are immortal, and some songs are disposable, and there's no disputing that fact. Kendrick Lamar is an INFJ. I agree. Kendrick Lamar doesn't make mistakes, but it doesn't mean he hits on all cylinders and everything. You know, it's like there's only two of his songs that really, to me, are things that stand the test of time that I could listen to over and over again and not be bored about them, not be bored by them. And I have a very good radar on that shit. Like I know which songs are gonna still be popular 10 years from now, and which songs are gonna be just everyone's gonna forget about them. I am 784. This is my Enneagram type. 784. I'm a 784, yes. And that I believe is called the messenger type. It might have in its mix the there's somebody who listed out a different name for each of the 27 for each of the three combinations of each of the 27 tri-types. So however many that is. If all bananas are fruits and all fruits are food, then all bananas are food. That's true. That's valid. What does a social dynamic between an INFJ and an ENFJ look like? The INFJ getting tired of too much FE and the ENFJ getting frustrated with too little TE. Erica Cloud was able to answer the Shekels question accurately, but he had to think really hard about it. Would that indicate TI ignoring or TI polar? Did you use a piece of paper, Cloud? Some aspects of it are, Cloud. That objection is representative. I mean, the thing is, it really depends. Did you use a piece of paper? Did you write anything down? Did you make any notes? Anything like that? If you did it all in your head, I mean, it would depend how long it took you to do it and how hard you had to think about it, I guess. The Shekels question is certainly solvable, especially if the EXFP has it in front of them, the words in front of them. They will be able to eventually solve it. Well, I mean, the thing is, that wouldn't be a surprise because I had listed that out as one of the possibilities from the outset when he came into the room. But yeah, if he really finds that stuff easy, if you didn't have to think very hard, if it came right to you, then you are not an ESFP, period. So does that answer your question? Why is it called the Meyer-Kruger effect? I've never heard of the Meyer-Kruger effect. You're talking about the Dunning-Kruger effect? It's because of the people who described it first. Well, how long did it take you, though? Quantity of times thinking about something or reading it doesn't really seem to mean very meaningful. INFJ 2 wing 1 plus ISFP 9 wing 1. What stuff is complex? When did I say anything is complex? See, this is what makes me think you're actually an ESFP. Like, you say things that just are completely unrelated to reality sometimes, and just claim them as though saying them made them true. It's like, when did I ever say that is complex? That is an example of introverted thinking. Introverted thinking and introverted sensing combined allow one to do that on the fly in their head. Now, depending on how long you had to think about it to solve it, or how... No, I didn't. It's a basic TI test. It's very easy for TI users. Not TI users struggle with it. Jesus Christ. Is that so difficult a concept? What's the NE-DOM instinctive reaction to an NI-DOM is trust, and vice versa too, Chris. And so it's like, it is the case that if you're going to be tricked by somebody, it's going to be by the other one. You know, like for me, it'd be tricked by an INFJ is very possible. INTJ less likely because they're not paired so perfectly. And NI-DOM is likely to be tricked all by an ENFP or ENTP. You're just ridiculous. You're just a ridiculousness. So anyway, we instinctually trust the other form of intuition as dominant because it's the currency in which our own form of intuition has to operate, basically. And it's very appealing. It's like, for somebody who's prioritizing NI, the ENTP's words, to the extent that they are true, they will find purchase, right? In other words, I'm throwing things at the kind of wall that's designed to catch the good things and let the bad things bounce off of it, which facilitates my trial and erroriness. So when I do that trial and erroriness kind of a thing, and I throw ideas out there, I'm confident that if there's a good one, it'll get the right kind of response, and that I'll be able to distinguish between a similar sounding but different kind of response when it's not the right idea. So, Cloud, if talk were cheap, you wouldn't be using a word I made up to make fun of people like you making fun of people like me to make fun of me non-ironically. Kaboom! I mean, talk about a meta clusterfuck of a nuclear bomb self-detonation you just pulled there. My goodness. Nothing could be clearer than that to me. I made up that word to make fun of people like you making fun of people like me. Game, set, match. Hey, Cloud. As you just turn You're turn away from and run away from the sentence you said before, right? The sentence you said before was that intuitards talk is cheap. I just made that blow up in your face, and you go, nah, 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 and run away from it as though you had never said it. You said it, talk was cheap. Were you right or wrong, Cloud? Yeah, I know. Whack-a-mole, ground shift potato pants. It's like you're not fooling anybody with your ground shifting. I'm engaging you only insofar as it entertains me. So, what's your view on the debate that only intuitives have the chance to become intellectuals and consequently smart intuitives have designed the system for the censors? I don't agree that only intuitives have the chance to become intellectuals. I would say my dad is clearly an intellectual, and he's an ESTJ. He's an unusual ESTJ, but he's definitely an ESTJ. He's unusual only in the sense of his correlates. He's actually extremely typical in his displays of functions and processes, as most ESTJs are. ESTJs are more alike each other than some other types are alike each other. Your FI types, like INFPs, can be somewhat different in display from each other, probably more so than other types because of that FI shit going on, They got that funky FI shit going on in their veins. And they're moist, they're damp. A lot of fungus grows up in there. I'm not going to drop you in the fish tank, Octavio. You drowned. Yeah, an antipolar intellectual is quite an astonishing thing if you think about it, and yet it can happen, and you can see what it is, and exactly in my dad, He's a very bright guy, he knows a lot of stuff, but he doesn't really argue the frame ever. He's always arguing the contention level stuff, as though framing didn't really matter. And that just has to do with the fact that they're physical types, It's like they don't have any. They're neither metaphysically framed nor metaphysically instrumental, which means they never question the frame. INFPs love to be things other than INFPs. They like to be half INFP, half INTP. They like to be NTs. They like to be, or undefinable, or not any type, or ambiverted, or other bullshit like that. Or some special, unique subtype, or whatever. INFPs want to be all kinds of things, but they are, nevertheless, that's a good indicator that they're INFP. I'll tell you this much. You don't really want an ESFP enemy in life. And the reason is because they're so persistent, It's like if they feel as though you deserve their wrath, then you're going to have to feel it eventually. Why are INFP and INTP videos common, but ENFP and ENTP videos not so common? Well, it's because INTPs and INFPs and INFJs, those who self-identify as such anyway, watch the most videos. And probably a lot of them really are INFPs. INFPs and INTPs are the most sort of self-absorbed in that fashion. They watch the most, followed by INFJs. INFJs do it because of the NI resonance, the whole thing mostly. INTPs, it's a combination NI resonance and SI clarity with TI kind of shit. INFPs, they're looking to get clarity on their inherently unclear, moist souls, The INFP is always walking around going, but everything's so damp. And really, who can blame them? I was saying to Rachel the other day how sad it would be to be an FI donor. Like how challenging that would be. To have to wallow in that level of moisture all the time would be challenging, needless to say. So, anyhow, it's a very slabby day, very slabby way. A slab for every occasion, a slab for every hay. And what that means is that my life is filled with portentous events. Everything seems to happen according to some kind of weird script. Like, why is it as soon as I get Rachel sent off to the airport, I get a call, Delilah's taking her in her car in the morning, and she needs me to come pick her up and drive her someplace after she drops it off. So right first thing this morning, I got to get up and go help Delilah and see her as well. It's kind of like the slabs reminding me that what's important in life are the important people in my life, whom I can often under prioritize because of being FI polar. And so, it's important to me to remember to focus some on those FI things, that the time I spent with Delilah this morning, even though we were in traffic, was emotionally satisfying. And the reality that, like this hit me, that because I tend to try to find silver linings to things. So trying to find a silver lining to Rachel going back to New York and saying, well, it's kind of a good thing we can get some time apart and blah, 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 blah. But the NI really kicked me in the face and said, no, you need to be together. But what I ended up settling on was the following kind of ideational compromise, which is the parting and coming together again brings to a poignant head the fittedness of the couple and enforces the poignancy of itself upon our attention in a way that is useful for realizing the relationship as a whole or something. So I found many ENTP with a lazy TI who are mainly NE-FE folks getting tips for growth for them. Well, first of all, I would say you're talking about young ENTPs and probably most, if not all of them. The best thing you can do for an ENTP is put them in debate, frankly. They need debate badly. I've gotten to see how awful and debilitating NI ignoring can be in my young ENTP debater here. There are times when his NI ignoring I just want to face palm both hands on my face. I've gotten a better handle on it because of debate, and he's getting a better handle on it. He's much better at crystallizing things now. He can summarize. It was a huge challenge for him. He also has learned to accept that sometimes he can repeat the way he phrases something. That is, he doesn't have to make up a new way to phrase it every time, which was his inclination. Let's see here. Should I smoke weed then clean the house, or clean the house then smoke weed? Well, it depends if you actually want to clean the house. If you really just want to smoke weed and not clean the house, you should smoke the weed first. If you want to really clean the house, then you should probably clean the house. But it doesn't sound to me like you really want to clean the house. It sounds to me like you really want to smoke weed. Eric, can you give me a real life example of someone using TI? Sure. I mean, like, is it buffering for other people or just for Rachel? Rachel, I've noticed your internet back in New York is pretty shoddy. Is it buffering for other people as well? Yeah, so that's the best thing you can do for them. The thing is, ENTPs grow up slowly, and they grow up best when they find a clear moral frame. So in other words, they can delegate some of the NI stuff. Otherwise, you end up a mess. It's like it's very plausible for any ENTP to end up amoral and sort of broken by midlife. Very possible. So the way to avoid that is basically you've got to find some sort of moral framework that. Oh, am I losing connectivity here? I must be.